dimbale ñu ñoo ne nawet bi ñu leen di yàqule ñu leen yàqule ñu dimbale ñu ñooñu tam bu seen bëgg pour saa yu nekk ñu dimbale ñu te boo yàqule woon fukka ñun suñu laa dimbali ñu laa dimbali ñu laa waaw waaw parce que am na si ay morom yoo xam ne dañ yàqule
Good evening from Banjul and welcome to the news at 10, and we begin with the headlines. Civil society organizations from ECOWAS member countries made to show up community participation in the implementation of ECOWAS Community Development Program. Rame Traoré serves freedom after standing trial for the 2009 murder of a Sanyang native Ahmed Fall Haidara. Norwegian investigators dissect a 1,500-page manifesto allegedly uttered by the man accused of killing dozens of people for clues. And the Food and Agriculture Organization summons a meeting to raise an estimated 300 million euros for relief operations in parts of East Africa affected by famine. These stories and much more coming ahead in the news. I am Fatou Kamara. Thank you for joining us. Welcome once again. A follow-up meeting on the contributions of civil society to the implementation of the ECOWAS Community Development Program CDP is underway in Banjul. Participants drawn from ECOWAS member countries are expected to adopt the goals embedded in the CDP blueprint. We have more in this report by Modulamin Sise.
Civil society organizations have long been recognized for bringing forth the problem of people in the grassroots. This noble work has earned them the trust and confidence of development partners, whose ultimate goal is to ensure that communities in grassroots settings benefit from their programs and projects. The ECOWAS Community Development Program is one such initiative which requires the massive participation of civil society organizations. It is against this backdrop that the regional body organized this four-day convergence of civil society actors in order to elicit their contribution to the formulation and implementation of the CDP in the sub-region. Conceived by ECOWAS in 2007, launched in Ouagadougou in 2008, and adopted in Accra in 2009, the Community Development Program, summarized in the slogan, integrating people in the ECOWAS region, meaning moving from an ECOWAS of states to an ECOWAS of people, is a long-term strategy which seeks to ensure a greater participation and ownership of development initiatives by the people. Professor Lambert Bamba, the Commissioner of Macroeconomic Policy at the ECOWAS Commission, told participants that their role, which is to come up with a plan of action for the CDP, will be crucial in the achievement of the ECOWAS Vision 2020 blueprint. This, he added, is due to the connection that exists between the civil society and the people, who, according to him, are the target group of the CDP. Mamoudi Sissoko is the president of the CSO network platform for CDP in the sub-region. He told participants that being spared a role in the formulation and implementation process of the CDP is a task pregnant with a mixture of pride and challenges. He, however, emphasized that such challenges should be faced head-on if the goals envisioned in the document are to be achieved. He added that the role of civil society organizations by the end of this conference will be to facilitate dialogue and seek redress for the problems of locals across the 15 countries in the sub-region. This, according to him, will break barriers and ensure unison in development in the ECOWAS sub-region. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Modu Seka, underscored that the CDP contains a lot of worthwhile objectives.
Integration of people, cooperation among states, formulation of common agriculture and industrial policies, interconnection of transport infrastructure, interconnection of communication infrastructure, interconnection of energy supply, financial and monetary integration, human development, research and development, common policies on the environment and the natural resources.
It is the foundation of the achievements of these aspirations that this regional convergence seeks to lay down. Officials at the meeting are hopeful that the success of the CDP will finally usher in the much talked about period of real regional integration under which member countries will be in constant touch in streamlining their development policies. Modulamin Sise, GRTS.
The School Green Committee and the School Environment and Food Aid Development Society have combined forces to acquaint young people with one of the hottest topics in environmental circles, the effects of climate change and global warming. GRTS's Samuel Barr was at the opening ceremony and he now reports.
It is a day's sensitization awareness aimed at changing the mindsets of these young people and their indispensable roles towards the mitigation of the impacts of global warming and climate change. The School Environment and Food Aid Development Society and the School Green Committee have their memberships drawn mainly from amongst school children. The Young Association's aims are, among other things, to foster closer collaboration with schools and other local communities in the fight against climate change, adaptation, and resilience. The principal of Abuko Upper Basic School, Biran Jain, described global warming and climate change as things that contribute to rising temperatures, thereby making life much unbearable.
It's not only the cars, the aeroplanes, but other human activities like cutting the trees, like overgrazing, like other activities that destroy our forests.
This, he believes, results from human activities. Lamin Kante, a representative of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, referred to overpopulation, desertification, bush burning, overgrazing, and poor farming methods, among other things, as largely responsible for climate change. He therefore calls for the strengthening of climate change mitigation strategies while stating his ministry's position in this campaign.
We in education are tasked to educate, inform the young generations so that they can take ownership and stewardship of the environment for prosperity.
Suleiman Gajigo, Secretary General of the School Environment and Food Aid Development Society, dilated on the impacts of climate change on the health, education, and economic activities of mankind.
5 evidence which definitely shows the impact of climate change on our socio-economic development.
Binta Jang, the National Chair Lady of the School Green Committee, and Ibrahima Sedikan both called on their colleagues to take environmental issues seriously. This latest sensitization awareness on climate change for these young people is expected to generate positive results in the drive to find better solutions to the emerging problems associated with climate change. For GRTS News, I am Samuel Ba.
Prosecutors have presented their 4th witness in the ongoing trial against Ibulo and Grant, 2 former operatives of the National Drug Enforcement Agency at the Special Criminal Division of the High Court. Ibrahim Ajata tells us more about today's court proceedings.
Suare, who told the Special Criminal Court that she is a sister to the deceased Cherno Aliou Suare, testified as prosecution's latest witness in the ongoing murder trial against Ibulo and Grant. A cashier by profession, the 4th prosecution witness related events which began on the 4th of April 2011 when she received a phone call from one Adama Cham and Fakiba, friends of the deceased, whom she said informed her that a narcotics officer wanted to see her about the ailing condition of his brother and to tell her that he has been admitted at the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. When I went to the hospital, I met 2 narcotics officers at the ward. My brother was still unconscious, but I was allowed to see him before his eventual transfer to the intensive care unit, Kadjatu testified, revealing that Cherno Aliou Suare was fed through tubes and gradually started to regain consciousness at the ICU, but was still unable to hear properly. He could not understand anything I said, according to the witness, who related that when Suare finally regained awareness, one of his eyes failed to open and they had to summon an eye specialist who prescribed some medications for him. The prosecution witness further adduced that she also sought permission to save the dreadlocks of the deceased, and when this was done, she disclosed that more wounds were discovered on Cherno Aliou Suare's head. On the 15th of April 2011, Kadjatu Suare revealed that the deceased recovered enough as to recognize her when she paid him a visit at the Royal Victoria Teaching Hospital. Under cross-examination, she told the Special Criminal Court that his brother was admitted at the hospital for just about a week. The case was subsequently adjourned to July